On Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. Let me particularly and categorically apologize for us starting, BB and Shuttle. It's for the good. But we are here right now, and this is a TGIF edition of the program. Thank God it's Friday, the week ending edition as well. Thank you for staying with us all week. Femi Ojo remains my name. Uzoms is here. Good morning.
Good morning, Femi.
How are you?
I'm all right, and my night wasn't cold today.
Okay, all right. Fair enough.
Yeah, I had a great night.
Yeah.
So good morning to our viewers, and welcome to Thank God It's Friday.
Yeah.
It's the last edition of this week's Morning Spring.
Yeah.
And bet me you're going to enjoy it. So just sit back and listen.
And listen, some might not actually be sitting, some might be on the go.
Yeah,
so some might,
true.
You can listen through your device on our YouTube channel and other, social media platforms as well. If you are ready, we are ready as well. We do a very, very brief one on our newspapers this morning. Then we can get talking about the topic of the day. Fingers crossed. We'll take this quick break. We'll make a return. Stay with us, and good morning. All right, I will start. I told you earlier to be a very brief one today. The Punch newspaper, local government autonomy, federal government threatens contempt suit against errant governance. That's on the front page of the Punch. Local government autonomy, federal government threatens contempt suit against errant governance. With a rider, lawyers, state, AGs, AGs aiding governors risk LPDC sanctions. Fagbemi accuses governors of treason again. Lawyers, state AGs aiding governors risk LPDC sanctions. Fagbemi accuses governor of treason, and INEC to phase out PVCs, plans diaspora voting. Interesting one there. And here, federal government issues 1 trillion naira Sukuk bond to fund 124 road project. Yuletide, IG orders nationwide deployment of corps, and circular road, Oyo begins fresh landowners verification. And tax reform, APC governance may meet National Assembly, ACF receives panel. And Tinubu present 2025 budget to National Assembly Tuesday. And State Police, NEC resumes talks January. Governance submit report. Lastly, on the point for today, imported petrol landing cost drops to 900 naira per litre. That will be all from the Punch.
And the Guardian says more men losing prostate cancer fight to hefty costs, late detection. You can see more of it on pages 4 and 5. We also have Seplat finalizes $800 million acquisition of Mobil Unlimited from ExxonMobil. Local airlines roll out higher airfares for festive peak period. Stop demolitions, pending investigations, Senate tells Wiki. Federal government issues Sukuk bonds worth 1.1 trillion naira to finance 124 road projects. Federal government issues ultimatum to developers on Lagos shoreline. FCT delays as governors State Police take final decision in January. Senate Sobernas Julius Berger boss over project. 2027, INEC plans shift to digital accreditation in new electoral reform. And that will be all on The Guardian this morning.
All right, away from the Guardian, the Daily Trust is next. INEC seeks legal backing for IREV. INEC seeks legal backing for IREV. Proposes use of computer-generated slips for voter accreditation. Again, INEC seeks legal backing for IREV, okay? And proposes use of computer-generated slips for voter accreditation. of course, that's the way to go. But I'm sure many persons will say, we sure we are good to go with that. And the challenges we are having at the moment with the switch to electronic voting, will it take that challenge away? Do we have the capacity to do that? The willingness, to go all electronic? And now that we're even hearing the matter of diaspora voting, many persons will say the voting within the country has great challenges. We're talking about voting outside the shores of the nation as well. But then nations of the world are doing this already. We should do that if actually we are willing, not just wishing. We are willing to do what it takes. Yeah, exactly. And below that, you have the chairman, Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, with the resident electoral commissioners during the presentation of the report of the 2023 general elections held at the INEC headquarters, Abuja, yesterday, more than a year after the report of the 2023 general election is out. And of course, I hope it will be made public. Now, governors back state police as NEC defers decision to January. All right. And our children pass through hell to access education. Abuja community. Children pass through hell to access education. I think that should be something of great concern to the FCT administration. Insecurity, army to review operational strategies Monday, and ACF receives experts committee on tax reform bills, and National Assembly to pass 2025 budget January as Tinubu submit proposal Tuesday. Now the issue is how thorough can the passing of a budget that will be submitted on Tuesday, next week, and that will be passed in January be? How thorough can that be? Like a month.
Yeah.
Where to say? Senate bars Wike from demolition structures in FCT. This barring, I'm not sure that was the use of word because I watched that plenary and there was a bit of back and forth between Senator Ritikin Gibe, the woman, the senator representing the FCT, at the plenary. She had to walk out later because she felt she was being denied the right to speak. And there's this record, this back and forth between the FCT minister Wike, that senator representing FCT, Senator Ritikin Gibe, and the president of the Senate himself. But after she was recalled, she was made to apologize. She apologized, and then she talked about fairness as well. And at the end of the day, the Senate president said he's urging, we have to urge, and then you wonder, the Senate president is urging a minister to please, stay hold or put hold on that demolition. We wonder if that's the way the Senate president urges other ministers as well. We are practicing a democracy. We should make it count. Separation of power, in spite of personal relationship, is very important.
Yeah.
And Kano governor, or government rather, reshuffles cabinet to drop SSG and the chief of staff and 5 commissioners. That will be all from the Daily Trust and all on the segment. When we return, we speak, to human rights. 2 days ago, or 2 or 3 days ago, it was World Human Rights Day. Yeah, advocacies, conversations about human rights globally as well, and then of course in Nigeria, the Human Rights Index. What is it reading this morning in the state, in your state, in our nation as well? How about the freedom of the press, freedom of you yourself? Freedom to worship, freedom to association, right to worship rather, right to association. All of those conventions, the Charter of the United Nations, do we have it? Do we have a free nation as we currently operate in Nigeria? We look into that. That will be done shortly. It's Morning Spring on Western Spring Television with Femi and Uzoms. We'll be back. Stay with us.